Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be going through my top 5 players who I think are most likely to become double RLCS World Champs this season. That would mean winning RLCS 3v3 and also winning either 1s or 2s. Every player that's qualified for RLCS 1s or 2s is going to be playing an RLCS 3v3, but interestingly enough, nobody's qualified for 1s and 2s. It's either 1s and 3s or 2s and 3s. Those are your options, and nobody's made all 3, of course. Honorable mention to Scribbles. He was the last person alive in the triple champ category, but yeah, I think that seriously died. I think the serious claim to that really died with Rawas, whose POV we're on right now. But yeah, before I get into my top 5, honorable mention does go to Scribbles and Reveal. I think they just missed the cut on this, but they've got a pretty tough draw. They're up against Zen and Atto in the 2s straight away. But if they can make it through that, if they can get an upset there, of course they can absolutely win 2s Worlds. But I think they are more like a dark horse for 3v3, not one of my contenders. So they're going to be just missing out on this top 5. But coming in at number 5, I'm cheating a little bit here because it's a 5th equal to Rawas and Clears. They've made it to 2v2 together, and they've also made it to 3v3 as part of Falcons alongside Drelly. And I think they are contenders in both. For me, I'd say they're the second strongest 2s team behind Zen and Atto, and they're going to be starting off their tournament playing against South America, so they don't have to play Zen and Atto till the final. I think finals have a bit more drama generally, a bit more upset potential historically than any other round in a tournament, so that maybe favors Rawas and Clears more than playing Zen and Atto in a semi. But even in 3s, they are still contenders in my opinion. Despite not making it to Paris, I've got Falcons in my list of teams who are seriously contending for the 3s crown, because we've seen what they could do in the past, and it would be, I think, foolish to underestimate them. That's why they make it into my top 5. Alright, coming in at number 4, I've got Nas from Gentlemates. He's in the 1v1 World Championship and also in 3s, of course, like everyone else in this video. And I've got him at number 4 because I think he is the second favorite to win 1v1, and his team Gentlemates are also contending. I think they're in my list of contenders for the World Championship. Of course, being winners in Boston does help that, but they were a little bit disappointing in Paris, so they've definitely slipped down the rankings just a touch for me, but still obviously firmly remain in the contenders group. So yeah, being second favorite for 1s, that's what puts him up here. I think his chance to win 1s is, in my opinion, better than Rawas and Clears' chance to win the 2v2, because, well, Zen and Atto are just so dominant in 2s. Obviously, Naupo's a monster in 1s as well. We've seen what he can do on LAN. But, yeah, I think Zen and Atto, for me, are the team that look the most indestructible in an extra mode compared to the rest of the field. I would also say that Gentlemates have got a better chance in my mind of becoming world champions than Falcons do, because they did win in Boston. Obviously didn't have the best Paris, but Falcons weren't in Paris. They were busy winning Saudi E-League. So I'll say, yeah, Nas has a better chance of winning 2s than, or better chance of winning 1s, sorry, than the Twins do, and also a better chance of winning 3s than the Twins do as well. Alright, coming in at number 3 for me is going to be Naupo, the defending 1s world champ. He's qualified again in a thrilling series against TRK. This is game 2 from that grand final in MENA that we're watching in the background here. But the reason I've got Naupo at 3 ahead of Nas is because I think Nas is going to lose the 1s world champ to Naupo. I think Naupo's going to win that against Nas in the final, so that obviously helps his case. But I'm more confident in that than I am of, you know, Gentlemates' chance of winning Worlds versus Twisted Minds. I do think Gentlemates' chance to win Worlds is larger than Twisted Minds' chance to win Worlds. I think Twisted Minds are an outside contender for me after making the grand final in Paris. It's obviously very impressive, but I think the Gentlemates have a better chance of winning the event than they do. But I'd say Naupo's chance to win 1s is a bigger gap to Nas winning than Gentlemates is to Twisted Minds winning 3s, if that makes sense. So I'm saying Naupo just making the top 3 here, and I would also say that his chance, well, this is actually the first player in this video who I'm predicting to win. I don't think the Twins are going to win 2s or Worlds in 3s. I also don't think Nas is going to win 1s or threes world. He's not going to win, yeah, ones or threes worlds either. So finally, we reached someone in the video who I actually think is going to win. This is my pick to win. Naupo, I think he is going to win against Nas in the final. So he makes top 3 of players most likely to win more than one Worlds. And coming in at number 2 for this list is going to be Zen. I've got Zen at number 2, and I'll just go ahead and say that number 1 is Atto. So let me explain why I've got Zen number 2 and Atto number 1. Start off is pretty simple. I think they're going to win the 2v2 Worlds together. They've absolutely dominated EU2s, and they look like the heavy favorites there. I've got my, Zen and Atto beating the Twins in the final is my prediction for that one. So yeah, everybody in this video is making an extra mode grand final in my opinion, and also contending for the 3v3 World Championship. That's sort of the combination you need here to be in the mix. But yeah, I've got Atto over Zen for the obvious reason that KC just won the Paris Major, and they did it while beating Zen and Vitality twice on the road to doing it. So yeah, if you're a Zen fan, if you're a Vitality fan, you're probably hoping you don't run into KC, despite the fact that they beat them in Boston earlier in the year. They've not had a great run against them historically. So that's why I've got KC and indeed Atto as the favorites to win the World Championship. The thing I didn't mention earlier with Naupo is, though, he is playing with Monkey Moon in threes, so we know what happens when Monkey Moon's in Dickie's Arena. Maybe that's going to be the true storyline. Maybe if you're suspicious of another Monkey Moon Worlds win, the true most likely player to become a double world champ is Naupo, because he's a favorite for ones and he's playing with Monkey Moon in threes in Dickie's Arena. But I don't believe in that personally. I think it's going to be tough for them to win it. I think that the main teams I've got at least winning, like my main team, so I think are going to win threes, are KC and Gentlemates. They're both major winners this year. And then Vitality with the right bracket, I think they can do it as well. But they're going to need to avoid the other top EU teams as long as possible. Maybe they're hoping, I think what Vitality are hoping for is that teams like Falcons and Twisted Minds eliminate Gentlemates, KC, and then they can just go and beat the MENA teams, kind of like what NRG did last year, because I don't think Vitality are going to beat top tier EU competition on Champ Sunday. I think the matchup on Champ Sunday against KC or Gentlemates is probably going to go like the Gentlemates Vitality series did in Boston, or the KC Vitality series did in Paris. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments if you think that's accurate. Again, summary of my list: Atto, my number 1 pick to win 2 World Championships, because I do have him and Zen as heavy favorites in the 2v2, and KC might just be the favorite in threes as well. That's all subject to Esports World Cup. Is obviously going to be a big event to take a look and see how the preparation is going for all these teams. So this conversation could change a little bit with the EWC. Maybe somebody completely dominates EWC and looks just different level in 3v3, and we need to revisit this. But currently, at the end of the RLCS regular season, with only last chance quals remaining, and no one in last chance quals is in this conversation anyway. Yeah, that's my list. We've got Atto at 1. He's favorite in 2s. Currently, I'd say favorite in 3s as well, although that's very, very tightly contested. Zen, favorite in 2s. Highly ranked, and with the right bracket, absolutely could win 3s as well. Then you've got Naupo, favorite in 1s, outside contender in 3s. Nas, who is, I think, second favorite in 1s, and maybe second favorite in 3s as well, depending on how if they can show up in their Boston form. And then bringing it finishing off the top 5 is the Twins, with their second favorite in 2s, and still, I believe, a contender in 3s as well, although some people are writing them off because of the disappointing season that they've had in the second split. But we'll see. Like I said, we may have to revisit this after Esports World Cup. That's going to be happening in August. For now, with only this being the last chance quals month, this is where the conversation is at, and I think it is a conversation worth having. I think it's interesting to talk about. Far more likely, like I said earlier, this year than it was last year, because we've got 12 players who do have a chance. The other players I've not mentioned here, who I think don't have a serious chance of becoming double champs, and one world champ would really be a massive win for anyone, to be honest. But you've got the Furia duo of Yan and Swift in 2s. You got KV1 coming in for South America's 1v1, and you've got the NA duo of Zach and Scribbles in 2s, and then you've got Diaz for NA 1s. They're all gonna, I think, have decent shots. I think, well, mainly I think Diaz is a decent shot at 1v1, and Zach and Scribbles have a decent shot at 2s, but I don't think they're in with a serious chance of winning 3s. They'll have to show me something at Esports World Cup if I'm going to change my mind on that. And as for the Sam guys, I think they are the dark horses in the extra modes, KV1 as well as Yan and Swift, and Sam right now has been kind of struggling in 3s as well. So for me, Sam is the dark horses. Well, I'll say Sam are the underdogs in this conversation, and the NA representatives are the dark horses. And then you've got the twins, Nas. I think they are contenders for this. Naupo, Zen and Atto could seriously, I think there are serious possibilities that those guys could become double champs. Zen and Atto, no explanation needed. Naupo, he's playing with Monkey Moon at the World Championship. But let's play out the rest of this game, because this was a good game. It had a great finish. Zen and Atto 2-2 against Nas and Oski in Game 4 of the EU 2v2 final. I have skipped to games. I've skipped the endings of games for all the other games in this video, but I do remember this one had a great ending. I think you guys won't mind me waffling a bit more just so we can see it. But yeah, let's see how this one finished. All right, here we are at the end of the game. I thought I might as well just skip a little bit, because it is a good ending, but it's not for a little bit, and I don't want to keep you guys waiting forever. But Zen and Atto, absolutely some of the favorites. Not sure where the nameplates are hidden, by the way. No idea why that's happened, but it has, which is too bad. But Atto absolutely slamming a worldie. One of the best tournament winning goals I've seen in a while. We'll take a look at his POV in it as well. Wait, I've skipped him. Here he is. Reset back corner. Yeah, great angle shot as well. Well, I think it would be a crime to not show that goal at the end of this video. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about my top 5, or let me know if you got any different opinions on this yourself, and if you think Esports World Cup will shift the conversation in anyone's favor at all. Maybe Sam, maybe NA can make a good showing there. Space Station Gaming really are the question mark for me in 3s. If they can look really good in 3s, then we got even more contenders for this title. Yeah, other thing, of course, is to check out Shotcast links in the description. We're going to be talking a lot of RLCS, FIFA Esports World Cup in the coming weeks, because in this gap between RLCS Online, a regular season, and Worlds, we've got these other events happening, which is really cool. And also check out Next Rank, links in the description as well. Join the Discord, become part of the community. We've got over 1,000 members of the Next Rank now, so shout out to those guys especially. But if you want to become part of the community and improve your Rocket League game, that's the best place to do it, although I might be biased on that. And also check out our YouTube channel, myself and Jack putting out some RLCS reviews on there also, as usual. But thanks again for watching, guys. That's all for this one. I'll see you in the next.